Hi, I'd like to talk about the weapons that we train in the Iwama Aikido. I'm sure most of you will know that Sensei said that you should do daily weapons, and he put together a series of the 31 Joe Carter, 20 Joe Spuri. Saito Sensei put together the 31 Joe Carter, Kumi Joe, and over the years, when I first met Saito Sensei, really the 31 Kumi Joe was about the only thing, and the 13 count Carter and the 13 count partner practice. It's gone on to a 6 Joe Carter, what's I think's been created really by us teachers deciding it's a really small piece that we can take from the 31 excuse me, and teach a beginner, because you might not think that, like the 13 Joe Carter, you might think, well, it's only 13 movements. It's because we perhaps know it so well. But to a beginner, even a yellow or orange belt, 4th cue, it can seem a lot to remember, because, you know, they're working really hard with their mind trying to get the moves correct. And this really takes me on to wondering why we do so many weapons and what are the values of it. I do think that as in our style we do a lot of weapons, and we need to, because we have the belief that when doing weapons think of taijitsu, and when doing taijitsu think of weapons. But in reality, when do any of you ever think that you're doing taijitsu when you're doing the weapons? Perhaps you've discovered something I haven't over the years, and you can tie it all together with everything that you do. I cannot. Yes, the Hasso movement, I think everybody agrees it reminds you of what you do with a Rimanagi, you know, with the arm coming over. You can do some sort of Shihan movements with the Joe, with your partner, if you're doing Joe Nage, Joe Dori. You can do Kaitanagis and that, but you know, this is like trying to look deep and finding things. When you have to look to find things, to tie them together, are they really what it's intended to be? No. It should, when your body moves, you should be experiencing the same feeling with the Ken and Joe as you experience with taijitsu. If you're doing a Shihan, if when lifting their arm and your arm, if that feels like the Ken without you becoming a stiff robot of such perfect technique that it's not got any flow to it, then what have you achieved? You know, you've become a robotic movement without feeling and understanding. I'm not knocking the weapons, I'm just saying that Saito Sensei at each stage developed the weapons for a reason. He developed them because once he started going out into the world, it's a little bit like having 6 chickens, and then when you've got 60 chickens you need more food. So he would make more varieties, and each winter, when there's not many deshi in Iwama, you may know this, he would look at mixing and changing the weapons. I've said before, the Kentai Joe was what he done with his son in his new dojo that never gets used now, for his 9th dan. He made a video of it, presented to the doshu, because the doshu offered him, after 22 years of him refusing his ninth Dan because the way it was offered to him by the doshu. He then said, when he was offered it again after 22 years by the doshu, he said, if you accept this video and you think that my techniques are good enough, I will accept ninth Dan. So he made the Kentai-jo purely for that. So if you've got to be a ninth Dan to understand this, can you imagine what chance we've got, even me at sixth Dan, of understanding the Kentai-jo? Most teachers do it because it adds to the repertoire of knowledge. And when I was in my heyday of travelling the world and training, I wanted to know the latest weapons. I wanted to get everything perfect, so I had to have the latest modifications. So really this message is about asking you, how much of taijutsu do you feel when you're doing the weapons? If you come up with the same answer as myself, I suggest you train more taijutsu, because taijutsu will get you fitter, more flexible. The weapons give you accuracy. So if you use the accuracy of your body, the alignment of your body, how you escape, be precise when you escape, don't just jump anywhere, don't just move anywhere. Think of what you would do with the preciseness of a cut, a ski, a hasso, a hapogiri. You know, find these things and put them into your taijutsu. Put the essence of what you should be getting from the weapons. If you're up to a Nidan, then I would suggest you just study the 7 Ken Saburi, the partner practice with Ken, and the kumitachis, the 5 kumitachis and variations. If you're above 2nd Dan, then perhaps look at the Kentai-jo occasionally, but don't think that you have to master it. Some people have tried with the Kumi-jo, and again I think try it at any level, the 10 Kumi-jo, but until you get to Nidan, really the Kumi-jo is very complex. So I think it's better to stick to the more basic. The 20-jo Saburi, the 13 kata, and the 31-jo kata. Of course you'll want to do the partner practices and the Kumi-jos, but until you get a really good partner who can attack you vigorously and with intention, it'll never really be any more than a set of choreographed moves where you're both having fun. So my message in this is, why are you doing the weapons? Think about it hard. Limit yourself, if you can, to training the most basic of weapons to get your body accurate. Check to see how stressed you get, how uptight you get. Can you be sharp and yet relaxed at the end of each movement? Does it get you more tenser the deeper you go? By the time you've done the 31, have you gone in and out of tension? Because by relaxing through it, you would have been sloppy. Please consider these things. To stay sharp all the time is difficult. If you do the 20-jo Saburi with 100% intention, you will be exhausted by the end of it. If you do the 13 count kata, even though it's called a 13 count kata, it should have Saburi feeling throughout the kata. It's not for speed, and yet the 31 is for speed. So you shouldn't be doing the 31 as the Saburis. You should be doing it as a flowing movement, so they're very separate. I remember Saito Sensei saying the 13 Jo Kata has all the Saburis that are not in the 20 Jo Saburi. So that explained it to me that that's why you should do the 13 as if each one is a Saburi. You can do it fast if you want, but will it become sloppy? Will it become not the Saburi feeling that you should have? I hope this helps you, and of course you'll question everything, and so you should. So I wish you well in your quest. Thank you for listening.